New Orleans Saints players are about that action.
Oh, my God.
They said that they want all the smoke.
Oh, my God.
You had a fight at practice today.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Nah, but all seriousness, man, according to sources, there was a fight that broke out at Saints practice on Friday. A fight between new defensive tackle Nathan Shepard and center Eric McCoy. And in the process of them fighting, another fight broke out between Carl Granderson and everybody's favorite tough guy, Trevor Penny. Look, I know a lot of people have been talking about this. A lot of people have been concerned since the news have come out. But this isn't anything to worry about, man. I mean, we all hear about camp practice always ending in a fight. We've seen this on NFL Network, ESPN. You know, guys are out there competing. They're putting their best foot forward. The other person is putting their best foot forward. And the next thing you know, there's a lot of energy that is out there, man. And, guys get into it. But that just shows you how much these guys want it. And I have nothing but respect for that. Now, if you had some guys that were just laid back, not really putting their best foot forward, not really grinding hard, then I would have a problem with this. But I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that guys are ready to go after an opponent. I mean, they've been going at each other for the last couple of weeks, but they want to go after someone that isn't considered friendly fight. And the Saints have a big matchup this preseason against the Kansas City Chiefs. And no, I didn't stutter when I said that. This is a huge matchup for the New Orleans Saints because you got a lot of new faces on this team. And a lot of these guys probably are not going to be a part of this team when it's all said and done.
Oh, my God.
So they have to go out there and they have to earn it. Head coach Dennis Allen brought in a lot of players, a lot of guys that if they don't end up working out with the Saints, they're probably going to end up on somebody else's team in week one. And he brought these players in to compete with the players that they already have, giving those players that he signed an opportunity to beat out some of the starters. And it's up to the starters, the familiar faces from the New Orleans Saints, to go out there and compete and win those jobs. The New Orleans Saints have recently signed linebacker Jalen Smith. Now, linebacker Jalen Smith, he came into the league in 2016. He's going into his 8th season out of Notre Dame. And I felt so bad for Jalen Smith because Jalen Smith was one of those guys that probably would have ended up being a top 10 pick. But in a bowl game, when he was playing at Notre Dame, he had a really serious knee injury. And the next thing you know, he slipped out of the first round. And he was picked up by the Dallas Cowboys. And he had some really solid seasons there, him with Lathan Vander Esch. I can remember the Saints playing against the Dallas Cowboys one, I want to say it was on a Thursday night. And I can just remember Alvin Kamara, on a toss play, tried to get the corner, and Jalen Smith just completely wiped him out.
Oh, my God.
And I remember, Jalen Smith was all over the field in that game. I mean, it was crazy. Like, he was flying around the field. I was like, man, this dude is the best player on the field. But, of course, there was some issues that happened with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if Jalen Smith ended up being the player that they thought he would be. He had I want to say the game that I'm talking about happened around 2019, and he never really built on that. Now, I'm not expecting Jalen Smith to come in to be a world beater, but I do expect for him to make plays from time to time. He's a smart guy. He's a tough guy, and he's really determined. He has really good leadership qualities, and it is also we have to mention that he's a veteran, right? So he understands the game. The game is slowed down for him. He can work alongside some of these young guys and help them to become professionals. And it's not bad to have a guy like this on the team. I think a lot of Saints fans, we thought we were going to have Anthony Barr and Kareem Hunt. I don't know what the heck happened with that. But I'm glad that Jalen Smith gets an opportunity to play for the Saints. Now, according to Dennis Allen, for what he said in an interview, that Jalen Smith more than likely will not be playing in his preseason game, although he will dress, in emergency situations, you might see him. But hopefully we won't get to this point. And, there have been some injuries that have been going around with the New Orleans Saints. Of course, we know about linebacker Demario Davis suffering injury that's considered soft tissue. You got Rashid Shaheed on the sidelines. People, the media asked about Rashid Shaheed, asked, is it a concern that he's not playing? I have no issue with Rashid Shaheed or Demario Davis not being out there because both of these guys have shown that they're professional. Rashid Shaheed came in around week 7 or week 8 of last year, and the first time he touched the ball, he scored a freaking touchdown.
Oh, my God.
So I'm not concerned about Rashid Shaheed. I expect for him to build in year 2. I expect for him to grow and to be that number 3, number 4, wherever the New Orleans Saints need him to be and make plays. I expect for him to contribute on special teams and be that lightning in a bottle that the New Orleans Saints need. But also we have to talk about Marshon Lattimore, who has been taking camp by storm. He's been dominating. He's really been coming on. Head coach Dennis Allen talked a little bit about his star cornerback.
He's played at an elite level for us for a long time. But he's playing extremely well. It's probably the best that I've seen him play in a training camp environment for sure. Yeah, I think he's got a great mindset about him, and he's been outstanding.
I think we all know how good Marshon Lattimore is. We know that for years he's been locking down some of teams' best receivers, and he has really taken on this role as a leader on his team, and I can appreciate that. Look, I've always liked Marshon Lattimore. Some people get into it with me, when I say that Marshon Lattimore is the best cornerback the Saints ever had. I've been watching the New Orleans Saints my entire life. Okay, just for this, I will say that I've been watching them since I was 4 years old. My earliest memory is sitting on my grandmother's living room floor watching the New Orleans Saints play, watching these guys go out there and put their best foot forward. Sometimes their best foot wasn't very good.
Oh, my God.
But nevertheless, I've been a fan my entire life, and I have yet to see a cornerback to do some of the things that Marshon Lattimore has done in a Saints uniform. Anybody that has an issue or wants to argue that Marshon Lattimore is the best cornerback that the New Orleans Saints ever had, respectfully argue with your mouth. There is nobody out there in Saints history that has done it like Marshon Lattimore. And he has risen to the occasion. He's going into his 7th season. He understands that he has to be at his best. I think he has a chip on his shoulder for what happened last year. He missed 10 games. He had a whole issue with a lacerated kidney, and he missed 10 games. But I think he's motivated. I think he's motivated by watching every single year him be at the bottom of the NFL top 100, which I don't understand. How in the world can you put a guy who is always ranked in the top 5 at cornerback at number 89?
Get your hand out of my pocket!
I don't understand how you can put this guy at number 89. But whatever it is, I'm glad that Marshon Lattimore is motivated, because we know that a motivated Marshon Lattimore is a dangerous Marshon Lattimore. I am looking forward to week 1 of preseason. The Saints taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Should be an exciting game. Dennis Allen said that he is going to play the starters in this game. He said anybody that is ready, willing, and able is going to play in this game. And I think that is a good look. And also gives us a little bit of a closer look at what the New Orleans Saints could possibly be in 2023. That actually rhymed, and I wasn't even trying to do that. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Much love to you. We are really, really close to 10,000 subscribers. In the words of the late, great Nipsey Hussle, last time that I checked, we had maybe 14 more subscribers to go to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribe to the State of the Saints podcast just yet, please do so. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. And of course, previous episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Till next time, all I got to say is, no, not throw them bows. All I got to say is, who that?